I've trained calisthenics for 10 years. I've solely focused on strength. But what's on the other side? What can we learn from endurance? This is my journey to running a 70-kilometer ultramarathon in Japan. Okie dokie boys and girls, it is day 28 of Road to Shimanami, and well, today is 4 weeks completed of running a 10 kilometer every day. I will talk about more about it when I reach 30 days, but holy shit, this wasn't easy. Anyway, this week I am increasing the distance, or not the distance, the speed a little bit by 10 seconds on average. And well, the plan is basically, instead of increasing the distance at the moment because my feet would scream, is to go a little bit faster every time. And I say a little bit, but let's draw the line. If I decrease the speed or increase the speed 10 seconds every week, at the moment I'm at 6 minutes and 20. Okay, that's very slow. But if I do it for 38 more weeks, I would be at 0 seconds per kilometer. If I continue it for 39 weeks, I would be running back in time. So you get the point, right? In a couple of years I would be beating the Olympians without any questions asked. So it's in fact very fast progress now that I think about it, and maybe I should slow things down. But as for now, I'm enjoying a bit of newbie gains. So today 6:20 it is. I'll see the effect of the body tomorrow, but one day at a time, boys. 2 more days until 30 days. There was some point where I was not focused on 30 days anymore. I was just focused on surviving each day. So yeah, like I said, I'll talk about that more when I hit the 30 days, but for now I'm just gonna enjoy run 28, and I'll see you tonight for a hand balancing day. Alright, already had a talk, so let's get right to the chase. Hand balancing workout, 7 sets on each arm because I'm doing a 1-arm handstand, and basically set number 1 will be kind of a warm-up set where I aim for 10 stable seconds so that I don't tire out myself too much, and then after that's done, the remainder of the sets I will aim for 20 seconds, because I feel like if you can hold a progression towards the 1-arm handstand for 20 seconds relatively comfortably, then you have an okay level of the handstand, right? You can do it relatively efficiently without using too much power, because if you were using too much power, then 20 seconds would feel like hell. But if it feels stable, then that's okay. You can move on to the next progression, because, well, when it comes to progressions of the 1-arm handstand, I've mentioned this before, but you basically have 5 progressions, right? You have 5 finger resistance, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0, right? That's the progressions. And between each level, there is not that much of a change like a change of difficulty. So it's manageable. If you can do 20 seconds on one progression, you can probably do like 5 to 10 already on the next one, except for the last one where you go from 1 finger to 0. That's going to be quite difficult. But anyway, yesterday I actually managed to get a set of 20 seconds with 2 fingers. However, I'm not going to start with 2 fingers today. I'm going to do 3 fingers first, then get another set of 20, hopefully, on the 2 fingers, because I feel like yesterday I just got lucky. And well, if I can get it again today, then we will move on to 1 finger. But let's get going. All right. Alright, one of the things I've actually switched up in the latest handstand trainings is I've increased the rest time. So before I was doing one set every 2 minutes and it was fine, but I was kind of rushing things. And in order to do a proper hand balance session, I feel like you have to be relaxed. So I increased the rest to basically do one set every 3 minutes. Right now that's possible because I have the time for it, but this allows me to just chill a bit more in between sets and basically go into the sets more relaxed, which allows me to concentrate. It's kind of the opposite of strength training, where you want to get hyped up as much as possible in order to dash out all of your power. Here you want to control the power you have so that you don't overextend and things like that. So that's why I've increased the rest time. It's not helping me to get to 20 seconds though. Holy fucking shit. Damn it! Yes! Woo! Alright. I just want to try some freaking one finger holds. Holy shit! That's 10 seconds. And I feel like I'm getting closer to the one arm handstand. Well, obviously, I'm getting closer, right? But I can actually feel it, because the position is quite the same, right? Whether I do two fingers or one, it's quite the same, but the amount of force I'm able to put through the other hand is only half, because, well, I've only got half the fingers there. So naturally, I'm shifting more of my body onto the main arm. So, yeah. Good going. Now let's get those 20 seconds on the other arm. Damn it. Jesus Christ. I hit the freaking wall. Alright, I'm gonna do one extra try on the left arm. Alright. Alright, so perhaps that's a good clickbait thumbnail. When I moved to the two finger resistance, I accidentally I went a bit too much to the side and my fingers just took off, which is actually what you want in the last progression eventually. But I figured hey, I'm already in this position, let's give it a go, and then I completely failed. But hey, when you take a screenshot, no one notices. That's how all the calisthenics people do it. That's a joke, of course, but anyway. Yeah, that's it. Gonna be it for today's training. And well, I'm happy with how it went. It was a normal training, nothing special, but the normal, non special trainings are exactly the trainings that you need because oftentimes we aim for goals, we aim for the highs, we aim for the adrenaline and the dopamine of achieving something new, but that doesn't mean that all the other trainings are less meaningful. In fact, it's those trainings that go bad, it's those trainings where you don't achieve anything that, well, eventually that's going to pile up into a mountain of experience leading you to the gains that you want to achieve. So yes, goals are important, chase them by all means, but don't forget to keep yourself grounded and not chase that dopamine all the time. You know where you have to head, right? Where you have to head. You know where you have to go in order to achieve your goals. And well, the way to get there is to just be active on a day-to-day basis or however many days you train a week, right? Just on a consistent basis. And whether your workout is going to go bad or good, well, you don't know from beforehand for sure. You can always have a feeling, but that feeling doesn't always equate to the actual situation. And today as well, my right arm was okay, my left arm sucked. Things happen. Does that mean that the training on my left arm was less significant? No, because just like you have trial and error with the way you train, like your training program and how you structure it, you figure it out by trial and error. In the training itself, you're also experiencing trial and error. It's basically how humans learn. You try something and then you fail and then you try again and you succeed because you learn something. So either you succeed and well, happy days, or you fail, also happy days because well, guess what? That's another part of another bit of experience that you can pile up onto that mountain, and eventually, the stack is high enough for you to climb up and reach to your goal. So that's why it's important to do your workout, whether it's gonna be bad or good, right? It's the same importance. And even if you know it from beforehand, oh, the workout is gonna be bad, well, it might suck, but you still have to go through it, because it's the bad ones that lead you to the good ones. That's something that you should never forget. And well, in the movies, the main character has one failure and then he goes straight towards the end goal. It doesn't happen like that, but guess what? They have to condense it in a couple hours. In real life, oftentimes you're going to be busy for weeks and months and years, right? And then basically you're going to experience a lot of ups and downs. But every time you experience those downs and then those ups, it might feel like at some point you're not progressing and you're actually getting weaker, but if you look at it on the long term, you're actually you will see that yes, you have the downs and the ups, but eventually if you take the average of everything, you can see that on a long period of time you're going upwards diagonally. Your bad days become the good ones from a couple months ago. So for example, today I'm like saying, oh, my left arm was a bit bad, right? But a couple trainings ago I wouldn't even dream of doing this on a good day. So yes, you're progressing, right? Even though it feels like sometimes you're going backwards. It's just, part of how things go. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today's training. Very happy with how it went and the running as well. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a slow run. I'm gonna do walking interval. I'm gonna do forced rest, and well, I'll explain why when I get to that. But for now, I'm just gonna head downstairs, have some dinner, and see you tomorrow for the next one.